Hare Krishna. Welcome back to my channel. I am Radhika Piyari Devidasi and today I am going to share with you the glories of Yogini Ekadashi. So Yudhishthir Maharaj said to Lord Shri Krishna that, "Hey Janardhan, you have already explained to me the glories of Nirjal Ekadashi which falls during the light fortnight of the month of Jyeshta. Now kindly explain to me the Ekadashi which falls during the dark fortnight of the month of Ashada." On this, Lord Shri Krishna responded that, "O best of all the kings, I will certainly tell you the glories of this Ekadashi which falls during the dark fortnight of the month of Ashada. This particular Ekadashi is known to remove all kind of sinful reactions and grant supreme liberation. Along with that, any person who is suffering from the vast ocean of material existence, the fasting on this particular Ekadashi removes that person from this suffering vast ocean of material world to the shore of spiritual world. This Ekadashi is famously known as Yogini Ekadashi, and in order to reveal this truth, I am going to tell you a Puranic story which is connected to this particular Ekadashi. In the city of Alakpuri, the king of the Yakshas, King Kuvera, who is also the treasurer of the demigods, he, being a very devoted person towards Lord Shiva, he was a very steadfast devotee of Lord Shiva. He had hired a gardener who was his servant. He was another Yaksha. His name was Hemamali. Now this Hemamali had a wife. Her name was Swarupavati. Now she had very big enchanting eyes, and Hemamali was actually very attracted towards his wife. Now because of this, he would constantly think about his wife. Always he would be thinking about how to enjoy with his wife. So now every day's duty of this Yaksha Hemamali was to go to the Manasarovar lake and get flowers from there, from that lake, get the flowers from there and give it to, or put it at the offering plate of Kuvera, so that he can offer those flowers to, like as an upachar, to Lord Shiva. So every day he would do it, but he was always, getting distracted from his duties because he would always be thinking about his wife too much. So one time when he went to the Manasarovar, he was going there. Instead of going there, he actually went to his wife, and because he was so lustfully attracted, so he started having conjugal affair with his wife, and then they were spending the time. So now it was the time of Kuvera to offer the flowers to Lord Shiva. So on the offering plate, he did not see the flowers. He was very angry because it was an offering which was to be made to Lord Shiva and there were no flowers. It was a very important ritual of that particular event. It was a very important ritual to be performed. So he got mad and he asked one of his Yaksha messengers to see why this Hemamali, this degraded or low-hearted Hemamali is not here yet. Why he has not brought the flowers. So Yaksha goes there, and actually Kuvera sends him to know the exact reason why he did that. So Yaksha goes there and then he finds out, and he comes back to Kuvera and he tells him what he has been doing. So because of that, Kuvera gets very angry, his eyes become red. So he summons Hemamali in front of him. He's like, tells the messengers that to call right at this moment. Now Hemamali, he knows internally that he was lacking in his duty. He had been distracted for so many days, being attracted towards his wife. So he has fear in his heart and he goes in front of Kuvera and he pays his obeisances and then he gets up. So Kuvera at once, he gets very mad, and then he angrily says that you are a walking offense to the demigods. You don't even deserve to be born as an Yaksha. So I curse you this very moment that you will suffer from painful white leprosy and then go and take this suffering and suffer into the hellish or the lower regions. And also he curses him to be separated from his wife. So he also says that you will be separated from your wife as well. So as soon as that curse takes effect, Hemamali, he loses all his luster and then his body turns into this white leprosy person, very painful, and he goes down. He's he awakens and he sees himself into this terrible and fearful forest. Very, like, it looks very terrible and fearsome. and there he is born, and he has nothing to eat and nothing to drink. So now he started spending his days in miseries and pain day and night. He suffered in the winter, he suffered in the summer seasons. But because of some piety, he was able to remember his past life, and in that condition also, he was worshipping and remembering and praying to Lord Shiva. So, as the days passed and he was roaming around the plains and the mountains and the forest, he came upon the expanse of the Himalayan regions. There, walking and suffering, he actually came across Markandeya Rishi. Markandeya Rishi, he looked like as effulgent as second Brahma, and he was sitting there meditating. At that time, because he felt very ashamed of his condition and because he was suffering from white leprosy, from a distance he offered his prayers and obeisances, and he was looking at Markandeya Rishi. Markandeya Rishi, being a very sacred soul, works for the benefit of other living entities and always is ready to help other souls. So, when he saw him in that manner, he said that what kind of sinful activity did you do for you to actually suffer from this kind of dreadful condition? So then Hemamali explained to him the entire thing, that how his duty, his service was to bring flowers from the Mansarovar lake for King Kuvera. And one time while returning back from the lake, instead of going and giving those flowers to Kuvera, he got lustfully attracted towards his wife and started enjoying with her. So when Kuvera came to know about what he did and the reason why he did that, so he got very mad and he cursed him, and that is the reason why I am like this in front of you in this manner. So now I'm devoid of my service, of my wife, and also of my appearance. So Markandeya Rishi feels very sad for him, and he says that, but you have actually discussed and shared with me in honesty all that what you have done and why you have been suffering. So I will tell you about this fast which appears during the dark fortnight of the month of Ashada. Performing this particular fast is going to help you to uh, get freedom from the sin and also from the curse which you have been suffering currently. So then he explains, Markandeya Rishi explains him to fast on this particular Ekadashi, and also to meditate on the Supreme Lord, who is the deliverer of everyone. So, to meditate, to fast, and devote your entire day on this Ekadashi in the meditation of Supreme Lord. So, Hemamali does exactly the same way what Markandeya Rishi explained to him, and he does the fasting, and because of that fasting, he gets rid of that curse. He gets back his beautiful Yaksha body, and then he goes and gets reunited with his wife and also gets back his service. Thus, Lord Sri Krishna concluded that, see, Yudhishthir, that's how powerful this Yogini Ekadashi is. It is very auspicious and it has the ability to destroy heaps and heaps of past sinful reactions which a person may have committed. Also, fasting on this particular Ekadashi means to achieve the same merit as what is achieved by feeding 88,000 Brahmins. So, O King, thus I have explained to you the purity of this Ekadashi and also the merit one gets by performing the fasting on it. So, this was the glories of Yogini Ekadashi, which I briefly explained. I have completed the series of the Ekadashi. There is only one Ekadashi which will be remaining, which will be like a leap year Ekadashi, and that will be, I think, the Padmini Ekadashi, which I will be sharing. The other Ekadashis have already been shared, and you can check the playlist for the coming weeks. So, thank you so much for watching. Hare Krishna.